It's a beautiful Tuesday evening right here in the core city of Enugu State, and you already know that it is time for your one and only NKA Etoundi on Afia TV, broadcasting live from the most beautiful part of Nigeria. I'm talking about Enugu, Nigeria on DSTV 254, Go TV 17, and Free TV 748. I am Mballa Etoundi. Well, I'm a lot happier than I was Monday, but I mean, looking forward to Friday as always. And have you guys noticed something? January was fast, February is faster. In my opinion, correct me if I'm wrong, or let me know what you think on socials, because I feel like, I mean, these 2 months have just been running so fast. And my prayer is, wow, if all the months can be like this, it will be fantastic. I don't know if you share my sentiments, but I'd love to know. Do reach out to us at Afia TV Official and let us know what you think about how fast the month is running and if you're looking forward to the month of March. We'll go for a quick break right now. When we do come back, I will be introducing my rather fantastic guest. Don't go anywhere, and Kat will be right back. Welcome back to the show. If you're just joining us, this is NKA, and of course what we do on the show from Monday through to Friday is we have interesting conversations with amazing individuals who come to inspire and entertain us, and we're very grateful if you're watching tonight. Thank you for opening your heart and your homes to us. We love and of course appreciate you. Well, joining us tonight is a lady whom I met, just recently, and the first time I spoke with her, I think one of the striking things for me, I do this a lot where I tend to have like a background story as to when I met someone and what really struck me about them. And what struck me about this lady was how she pronounced her name. I pronounced the name normally and she was like, no, it's this way. And I was like, wow, it sounded really nice and it sounded very sweet coming from her mouth. Well, joining me tonight is a French and English translator. Her name is Mrs. Mballa Etoundi Sophie Sandrine. I needed to add that. It's a pleasure to have you. Good evening.
Good evening.
Hope I tried.
Yeah, you tried.
I tried.
You did well.
I did well. Okay. I mean, I think that was one of the first things that struck me because I was like, you're like, no, not such Sandrine. I'm like, yeah, which is good. So right before we delve into this, I asked this question yesterday, but I feel like asking it today again. What would you say is your greatest desire?
My greatest desire is to take my career to the greater level as a translator. Yeah, I want to be. I want to take it to a greater level, an international level. That's my greater desire.
Interesting answer. All right, now let's delve into your background, where you did grow up, schools you attended, and how it led you to being a French and English translator, because not a lot of people go into that.
Okay, I am a Cameroonian.
Okay.
I was born and raised there. I did my nursery, primary, and secondary school over there. Then my destiny brought me to Nigeria, where I did my university.
Where?
In IMSU.
Interesting. What did you study? French?
Yeah, that's French. I studied French. Though I had, before I studied French, I was in history department.
Okay. History and international studies.
Exactly. So after 2 years, I switched to French.
Why did you switch to French?
I remember when I went into I had my admission. So remember, I don't know if I mentioned that to you before, English was a challenge because when I came, I didn't want to speak English.
I was going to ask, for someone who wasn't speaking French for the whole of her life, how were you able to, it was one of the questions at the back of my mind, like, how were you able to transition to learning English? When did that happen? How did it happen?
Exactly. So when I came to Nigeria, because I'm from the French-speaking parts of Cameroon,
yeah.
So it was all about French. So when I got here, it was English. So you need to communicate.
Of course.
It was difficult because Then, if I say good morning to you, believe me, you will laugh before.
I remember how you used to say it.
I don't remember. You will laugh before you answer me. So I needed to communicate. I needed to speak to people. So I was already battling with the English and then trying to understand people because this eastern part speak Igbo. So you meet people that speak English, you meet people that speak Igbo. So it was very confusing, very difficult. So I had a program of a 9-month English course at Avon.
Okay.
So, and then communicating with people often also helped me.
Would you say learning English was hard?
Yes, it was. It was not as hard as because already I was in the midst of people that speak English. So, language is all about environment. So when you find yourself in the midst of people that speak that language, it will be easy for you to learn. And then if I say I wasn't really embarrassed, I say really embarrassed because I was ready to learn. You're in the midst of people that speak the language, but you cannot speak. And then at the end of the day, you look at yourself like an illiterate because actually it's not as if you're not learned, but you don't just know how to speak the language. So it was challenging. So I had to, at that time, I had to enroll to learn how to speak English. So I thought I was done until I went to IMSU. My first admission was history because actually I wanted to do law.
Why didn't you do law again?
Because my English was a challenge. Yes, my English was a challenge. So I had history that was my second choice. Yes. So I had that admission. So along the line, it's not as if I could not do well, but it was challenging. Because the lecturers are not there to know if you are fast or you are not fast. You are supposed to know the language. You're supposed to be up to the task. So most time I found myself back, or that going forward. I'm always struggling to, At the end of the day, I will understand, but I will be left behind until I discovered that because IMSU is big, so I discovered that they were offering a French course. They had the department, and I met my HOD then, Professor Reka. Because French was my, how do you call it?
Mother tongue?
No, they offered French as an elective course.
Yes. International.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I went for French. That's why I discovered they had French. So I went for French. My HOD discovered me there, and he was like, "What are you doing there? What are you doing there? This is your 200 level. What are you doing there? Come back here. We need you here." And I didn't even know, and I accepted that.
Can I ask a question before you go on?
Okay.
For someone who grew up speaking French, coming to Nigeria, learning how to speak English, and moving on to studying history and international studies, when your HOD told you to come and study French, did you feel it was going to be a waste of time? Because it's something you've been doing all your life.
Yes, that's the truth. That's the truth because when I said yes, it's not at that spot. I told him no, I wanted to be challenged. I told him that. And much later, I have to go back and then look at where Eastern International studies will take me in terms of building my career, and where French will take me in terms of building my career, and try to look at the opportunities that I was going to have. And I decided, I made up my mind to go for French.
And
That's
looking back now in hindsight, do you think you made the right decision?
yes, yes. I'm proud of the decision that I made. I know I made the right decision.
That is interesting. So right after you finished, because you planned to study history and international studies, and of course you switched to French, what did you do next?
So when I was done, meanwhile, I was already engaging myself while I was in school with teaching.
Teaching people how to speak French?
Yes, in schools, primary schools, secondary schools. So to keep myself more busy. Then when I graduated, I decided to go into it. So I discovered that teaching was good, okay,
Why do I
but
feel a bot coming?
pardon?
I was expecting a bot because how you started.
Yes, yes. It was good, but it wasn't really going to give me what I wanted. Yes, it wasn't just going to pin me down. Teaching, you teach, and then that is it. Because most of the schools, they want you from Monday to Friday. They just want you to work for them. It's all about them. It's all about what they want. It's not about what you want. Okay, so he helped me because in as much I was teaching the French, okay, I was giving out there. I was also receiving because I was also learning English because even up to now, I'm learning some ways. I'm learning how to communicate more in English. So a time came, I told myself, no, I need to step up. I need to do something better than this. So I decided to go into translation. So far, so good. I'm doing well. Then, except that, because I didn't want to be in the school environment anymore, I decided to create a platform whereby people can come and learn, but that's it's going to be me. Okay, no one will be there to dictate me.
Based on your terms.
Exactly. So right now I have a platform where people come and register, and then I lecture them. I give them what they want, especially working class people that really want to help themselves. They really love the language, the French language, and then they join classes. The students also join classes, and then that goes with the translation as well, documents, and that is it.
That is fantastic. I do have one question in mind. I don't know if you have kids. Do you have kids?
Yes, yes, I have 4 kids.
Amazing. So, are they interested in learning French? Because looking at you and, looking at your journey so far, and as a kid myself, even just, growing up in a home, I think that's what just came to mind. Like, okay, so how has it been, trying to instill, because this is your identity, culture and your language is, one of the things that makes you who you are. So have you been able to instill this in your kids? And would you say they're open to learning? How's it been?
Like I told you, language is all about environment. And when I came, it's to answer your question, when I came, I was surrounded with my siblings, my nephews, but they're no longer here. So when we were together, we could speak French sometimes because them two, they were speaking more of English. Now, when they left, we were no longer together. I got married. I had my own kids, so I was all by myself. No one to speak French with.
Your husband didn't understand French?
So that was English. I was speaking English then. And the kids, I started having kids. So when you have kids in the environment where it's English, you can't just start speaking. It's easy to say. I know you could have started with the French.
God bless you for what you just said now. God bless you.
It's easy to say, but it's not as easy because it's challenging, So I found myself, because also I was enjoying speaking the English because I wanted to learn the English. For me, I already know French. So people should stop disturbing me about speaking the French because this is what I want to learn, because I'm in a place where I need to learn this language to be able to communicate. So my kids, my first child was English. So when the second one came, English, because the second one came, I met English. The third one came, met English. The fourth one came, met English. So it was all about English. So a time came, the only time they could hear me speak French, it was on phone. Yes, because when I communicate with my family, it's in French, so it was on phone. So my first child was like, she's willing, she's willing to learn. She wants to learn. So most time I will be, okay, let us do it in school as well. At school, they teach them that. So, but at the time when I want to say something serious, I'll speak English, go and do this. Because when you start saying it in French, it's like, you want to get serious with me, now you start speaking Igbo. I won't take you serious, because if you really want to say something serious, you want me to take you serious, you speak in English. I know that,
I can understand.
Yes, serious. So when you speak French with her, she won't take you serious. So when I want to get serious, I have to speak English. So a time came, I saw she was really interested. The second one, it was just there. Interested or not, it was just there. Anything you give him, anything you say to him, fine. But the third one clearly told me French is not pleasant to his ear. So
how did he come to such conclusion? How? And what he was going through his mind, and how he was able to come. Oh my goodness, children.
Yeah, every time mommy is not pleasant to my ear. Don't just bother yourself.
Oh my goodness.
But funny enough, they have good results in French. In that academies, in school, they have good results. And the little one speaks French very well.
Interesting.
Yes, because she's in the midst of people that speak French. My mom is there, my siblings are there now. So she speaks French, she speaks English very well. In fact, when I speak English to her, she speaks
in French.
Yeah. So at that, I'm so happy. Then the first one, she's picking up. So most times she gets to the point when she wants to write a letter to me, and it's in French. So not to discourage her, I won't laugh. But she said, "Mommy, if you want to laugh."
But I mean, it's the effort for me. She's making an effort to learn.
Yes. I understand her, because I know what it is to learn a foreign language.
You see, I can definitely relate to this 100 on two sides. I'm a new mom, and my mother-in-law, after having my kid, my mother-in-law is a first-class graduate of French.
Wow.
Yes, and, most times she's like, you can't speak French. You can't even speak your Hausa very well. I don't know how this child is going to learn Yoruba, because he needs to learn Yoruba. And his children learn language from the mother. And I look at her like, are you sure that is correct? Because anyone can actually teach a child that is willing, because she insists on the fact that you need to catch them young. And for when they're toddlers, it's easier to learn. But I can't give what I don't have. Exactly. So, I mean, it doesn't learn from the father. And, when I hear, especially now where there are apps where I'm on trying to learn French and German, it just made me wish I took French more seriously than I took it in high school. Because then, I wouldn't lie, I think one of the most interesting things about French then were the songs we got to learn. How I remember the days of the week is the lundi, mardi, mercredi, jeudi. Yeah, so our teacher tried to infuse songs, and because of our minds that were open to music, it stuck.
Yes.
But when it comes to adverbs, it comes to a lot more collective nouns. I wish I did pay a lot more attention in, learning how to speak French. I really do wish.
It's not late.
Well, I mean, that's what I was going to say, which is why I'm on some of these apps now. I don't want to do free advertisement for them, but yeah, I'm on some of these apps now, trying to see how I can definitely learn to speak, because languages are beautiful.
Yeah, they are.
I definitely agree.
Yeah, because in this generation, is not longer enough to learn one language.
Of course.
It's necessary to learn English, French, Spanish. Yes, it's necessary. It is.
Well, while we remind you that it is necessary you come out of your comfort zone to learn other languages, we'll go for a quick break. When we do come back, more on the show. You're still watching NKA only on Afia TV, and yes, I still have the amazing Sandrine Grayson, as she's known on her social media platforms, right here with me. And it's been such an amazing conversation so far, talking about learning new languages and opening yourself to new possibilities. And I think that's one of the things I started off this year with, not as a resolution, but I just knew inside of me that, no matter how hard things get, or no matter how tough it was looking or it's going to be, I kind of want to romanticize my life. And in romanticizing your life, you appreciate the little things, you try out new things, you open yourselves to, new experiences. And I feel regardless of what you're going through, you definitely need to do the same, to just try and enjoy your life, regardless of what the economy is saying or inflation rate is saying. You should definitely learn a new language today. That's what I'm saying. That sums up all I'm trying to say. But it's still a pleasure to have you here with us.
Me too.
All right. So I went to your social media platform. Well, it feels like you're a private person, and that's something I said to my guest of yesterday. I saw your Instagram on private. I saw your Facebook. Not a lot of photos. I'm like, okay, because this is a segment where we get to showcase people's old photos. But unfortunately, I was unable to reach. So what is the thing with? Because like I said, I feel like you're a private person. But please correct me if I'm wrong. When it comes to social media, what are your thoughts?
Social media is there to build, is there to destroy.
Why does it feel like you and my guests of yesterday are saying the same thing? Because that's the same angle he came from. And he was like, the reason why he's not big on social media is he doesn't want his kids to feel like they can't make it without social media. It comes to a lot of distractions. Those were his words exactly.
Exactly. I shared some opinion. So you have to deal with social media you have to be careful when you're dealing with social media. And if you're not strong enough, you can break down. Because people's opinion, people's view about you, you might want the world to know you the way you are, but they might not see you the way you are. So you have to be careful.
Very well said. All right, now let's come back to the conversation about you and what you do. Oftentimes, when people look at French translators, a lot of things come to mind. People see you, think about events immediately, live translation. People see you, or maybe there are probably documents to work on. So what part of, is it everything you do, or sports translation in French? What are there different levels? Are there different types of French translation?
You have the one-on-one translation. You have the how do you call it? The one-on-one translation is common. Okay, you have if you have translation, you have interpreting. Interpreting is different from translation. Translation is about documents. We are dealing with documents.
Okay.
Why interpreting is
you say something, I have to interpret to someone who doesn't understand.
Exactly. So I deal with every kind of document. Okay, but it doesn't stop me if I have to go. Someone calls me to, maybe I want you to interpret this for me. Okay. Not I want you to translate this for me. I want you to interpret this for me. That means, as you and I are now, someone that doesn't understand maybe English will be there, and yet I'm just that canal to there to interpret what you're saying to the person. It's not written. Good.
Spoken.
Yes.
So interpreting has to do with spoken words, and translating has to do with written words.
Yes. So I do both. But because it's most time is online, I do more of written That's why you call it. That's why you call it translation. Yes. So I do in both documents. You bring legal documents, and there you bring sport documents, and there you put medical, and there.
As long as French is concerned.
Yeah.
What would you say, in your opinion? I wouldn't think. Okay, let me say this as this. Looking at you, I know that French. It's definitely not challenging, because this is something you grew up with. Speaking, it's a part of you. So, but how challenging would you say it is for someone who did not grow up with French to become a French translator / interpreter?
The truth is that languages are challenging. Okay, French is challenging. It might not be challenging for me at a certain level because we learn every day. Even you that speak English, you will be learning every day.
Of course.
Good. So French is challenging because on that some document you come across, you need to make some research. Okay. So for someone that was not born and French was not born in a French environment, and French is not his mother tongue, it's challenging because, to tell you the truth, French is difficult than English. French is difficult to learn.
I agree.
Yes.
I've been trying to. This is why I said oui. I agree, 100.
Yeah, French is difficult to learn than English. So I could see the challenges when I was in school. Some dropout was difficult for them. So it is for them because the pronunciation. That's where that problem comes from. But the truth is that most of them can write. Most of them can write.
They can't just speak as fluently.
Exactly. It's like someone like me. I have difficulties at times to speak English, but I can write.
Got it.
Yes, so that is a challenge that someone that wasn't born in the French country, that French is not its mother's tongue, can face as challenge.
Now let's talk about key skills, because the beautiful thing about tonight is there are people watching us tonight and they're like, I've been on this app since, so trying to learn this French, but it's not giving me, that one-on-one feel. It's not giving me that feeling. What would you say are the key skills someone must have or must obtain to become a French translator?
I was saying that to a school recently, to the principal. Actually, it's something I don't want to say because it's like selling up some ideas, because my ideas are seldom.
Of course, of course.
But let me just say it, okay? I think it might also help some people out there, schools, okay? You are talking, so she told me she wanted me to come and help them because the school, they just teach French to the secondary section. And I told them, that's where you guys are getting it wrong. It's from the foundation. This is the foundation. Nursery is the foundation.
Of course.
Because the level, okay, I told you I'm a little girl.
Yeah.
She speaks French. She could get it faster than the other ones because these are the age. She's 5. That's the age. That's the age where they can speak 4 to 5 languages at that age. Yes, if you make some research, you'll see. So to help kids with French language or any other language, I told her, first of all, as a teacher, you make yourself available 3 times in a week. And then, because you are very sure that at home they use phones or tablets, the language in that laptop or iPad or phone should be in French. Whether they understand what they're saying, whether they don't understand, all the applications should be in French. And the teacher should have an often communication with them, even from the house. You call them on phone, you speak the French, whether they understand it or not. Before you know, it becomes part of them. If school try to adapt that method, go with that method, you see those kids, school is 9 months, right? At the end of 9 months, they'll be able to get somewhere with French. And then what makes kids learn the language more is songs, like you said. You can remember that.
I can remember a lot of songs in French that I can't speak.
Exactly. So all the applications should be in French, all the songs should be in French. The show pay more because kids most time they don't watch TV. It's phone and iPad. So all that should be in French. With that is a good foundation for kids to learn how to. You're introducing them to. Is a good way to introduce them to a new language, and this, believe me, works like magic. It works like magic.
As you're saying this, I just have my son in mind, and I'm thinking, I say, wow, we're gonna try this.
It works like magic because, and then you make sure you make yourself available. You communicate with them at home. I mean, you can call them, just if it's a 2-minute call. You talk to them in French. Even if they don't understand, they will. Yes, they will. So that is how it works.
That is fantastic. You've been in the Southeast for a while.
Yeah.
How receptive would you say people are to learning new languages, especially French?
They are. They are. That's to show you that they are, because you see schools now, all the schools, they have introduced French, yes, as their language. Some take serious, some don't take serious, but I'm not after that. But the most important is that they've introduced French. That to show you how receptive they are. And parents are very interested. If you see, if a school is learning French, they'll be like, yes, I want to put my child there. Even if the French is not worth it, but for the fact that it's already there, they want to. You see, some of them don't even want to know if the school is having an extra language introduced, if not, if except French.
Of course.
So they are receptive.
I want to ask you something that I experienced in high school. I feel like I had a fantastic teacher, but I felt I would have probably learned more if my teacher took another route apart from just music. What would you say, in your opinion, is the best route to teach, apart from taking them or catching them young, when you want to teach kids? And I'm not just even talking about the young kids. I'm talking about kids who are much older, because you have lots of much older kids in high school and junior high, who would love to learn the language. But sometimes it just feels very mechanical. There's really no connection between you and the teacher. Where your eyes light up, I'm speaking from personal experience, is when the teacher now says, okay, she notices that people are not connecting. So she says, you know what? Let's learn how to sing this in French. And then you find out that everyone is engaging and everyone is participating. But when you get back to the language, or you're teaching them vowels, or you're teaching them, certain things, it feels like you're alone talking to yourself. So as someone who's experienced and someone who this language is a part of, what would you say is the best way to teach children who are much older, or adults, in fact, French?
Language is fun, so you make it fun. Especially a foreign language. So I have my methods, and then you don't teach more than 1 hour. French language is not advisable for me to have that course for more than 1 hour. And then during that 1 hour, you can compose songs that will fit what you want to tell them. So if you want to tell them ABCD, you can make it as a song. You see, they'll be active.
Yes.
But if you go there, A, B, C, repeat after me.
They just repeat, and when they leave that place,
that is it.
It's all gone.
So language is fun, you make it fun. So that's the strategy or the method you should use when it comes to teaching a language, a foreign language, especially French. They already love French, so you have to make it more attractive, more interesting.
So learning is in two ways: the teacher and the students. Now, for the students who want to learn, because there are people who feel like they don't have a good ear for language. Just like your son said, it sounds it sounds somehow in my ear. There are people who want to learn, but it just feels like every time they make an effort, they don't really get anything out of it. What would you say someone needs to come to a French class with, especially when you want to really learn the language?
Really, that's the word you just used, really, the zeal. So when you come to a French class, you come with that zeal. When you come with that zeal, you're unstoppable. When you come with that zeal, that love, it's like when you're determined that no matter what, I'm going to learn this in today. That is it. Your mindset. So, to students that want to learn the language, they really want to learn the French language, just make up your mind, know what you want, and go for it. That's zeal, that's all you need.
Okay. All right. Now, a thought crossed my mind. Are there languages that had to translate or interpret in English? Like French words that had to interpret in English and vice versa? I don't know. I just thought about it.
If there's any language, sorry?
Any word. So in speaking French, in speaking language, we have different cultural nuances. So what comes to mind is in line with translating, in line with interpreting, have you ever gotten yourself in a situation where there are certain English words that are hard to be interpreted in French?
Yeah. If I understand it very well, anyways, French borrows some words
From English.
in English, while English borrows some words in French. So you come across it when you do translation, you do interpreting, you come and you come across such languages, but such words. But something is your proverbs. You can't translate proverbs.
French proverbs.
French to English, English to French. Yes, you can't just translate them. You can translate them, but not word by word translation.
Wow.
Yes, because we also have word by word translation. I mean, that's what I meant to say. No one word by word translation. Proverbs are not translated word by word. So, but if to answer you, yes, I've come across such words. Words that are borrowed from English and some that are borrowed from French.
All right. So we'll go for one final break. When we do come back, we will be rounding up and maybe doing something in French. Don't go anywhere. Welcome to the final lap of NKA, only on Afia TV, and it's been such an amazing time with Sandrine. And it says I'm making an effort to pronounce her name correctly.
You're doing well. You're doing well.
I'm sure the lot of you who like to learn a new language, I mean, you've learned a lot, and you're definitely open to learning more. Of course, before Sandrine leaves here, she'll share her Instagram, her social media handles, where you can definitely reach out to her if you're interested in learning. But it's been such an amazing time talking with you right here. But it makes me want to think of something. You've been in the Southeast for a while. And off air, I remember asking if you could speak Igbo, a bit of Igbo. So let's say you say something in Igbo. I mean, something. It doesn't need to be that. Because, I mean, you are in the Southeast. You speak French. You speak English. I'm sure that you must have picked up some Igbo while you've been here.
Yeah. Okay, some Igbo's words that I can say, like Ndeo.
Ndewo, no.
Dishike.
Is that how it's pronounced?
I don't know.
Not Dishike. But go ahead. A for effort. Go ahead.
I spent my effort.
A for effort.
Budishike, that, and then Ibokweno.
Ibokwenu.
I love that.
You love
I
Ibokwenu?
love it. I love it.
What would you say is your favorite Southeastern meal?
My favorite, I can't say.
Abacha, ukwa,
I will say, actually,
soup, often sala,
oha soup. Then when I came here, oha soup with goat meat was my first.
On point.
Oha soup with goat meat was my first. Then I discovered Afan soup, but it's not an Igbo
yes,
soup.
It's southern.
Yes, it's not an Igbo soup. So if you have to talk about Igbo dishes, oha soup, then okazi.
And that's similar to like afang, but it's the Igbo
but
one.
that's the Igbo. That's the
Yes.
native soup.
Yeah.
So yes, and then abacha. I like abacha with enough fish.
Nice.
And onions, but don't put the bitter leaf that is
Utazi.
You know, don't put it for me. I love it like that.
So have you tried ukwa?
Oh, ukwa is also. It's not like my best, but it's my daughter's best plate.
Your daughter knows a good thing when she sees one.
She's her best.
A well-made plate of ukwa. I don't know. I mean, we've had this argument back and forth, but it cannot be compared because a lot of people can make abacha. Not a lot of people can make ukwa. A well-made ukwa.
Ukwa, yes.
And if you notice at ceremonies in the Southeast, there's a special cooler
for it.
That's to show you how pristine.
People.
Do you understand? That's how pristine and well revered ukwa is. So I mean,
very expensive.
Very expensive. It's not cheap.
Very expensive.
If you're not eating ukwa, I don't know what. There are things are coming to mind now to say to you, but I'll keep it to myself.
So ukwa, I like it. No, I don't love it as much as oha soup.
How were you able? It just came to mind. How were you able to deal with the food?
It was difficult because already I wasn't eating fufu. Yes,
what did you used to eat in Cameroon?
We have different type of food. Yes, that at times we can almost stay months without thinking of fufu. Me growing up, I wasn't eating that. I wasn't eating soup. We don't have this soup of eating. You have different varieties of food. So,
can you give us some examples?
Yes, we have ndole, we have carnot stew, we have eat more fish, different type of fish. Different way of it. We have different ways of cooking it, but we grow it more. We have a lot. So while coming here, I discover swallow. Though we do see, we watch it on TV over there. We watch Nigerian movies, Gary. So over there, the where I'm from, we drink Gary. We don't swallow it. So it was strange. So when I came, I discovered the swallow it, and then they take fufu. So me, even from Cameroon, I don't. So you cannot fight them, you join them.
Of course.
So I started eating it, but I wasn't swallowing it. I was chewing it. And then most of my soup, I was eating them with rice.
Got it.
I take my oha soup with rice, my egusi. So most times they feel disgust. Like
a lot of people are going to be surprised.
Yeah, some of them get angry. Yes, and they get angry. Stop that. What are you doing? So with time, I learned how to eat it. So it was challenging as well. And it was way far different from the way we cook our food. So but I have to adjust. And
you're able to learn how to make some Southeastern
Yes,
meals?
Of course. I know how to learn. I know how to make almost all of them, if not all of them.
Interesting. So now we're going to have you do two things before you leave with advice you have for people who are interested in learning, and of course your social media handles.
Okay.
Well, have you sing a song in Igbo and have you sing a song in French? I know you didn't see that coming.
I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
I don't know how to answer that. But
Do you know any song in Igbo?
yes, gospel song.
No
Those are the
problem.
only song I know in
Okay,
Igbo.
so even if it's just 2 lines, let's have you sing an Igbo song,
I didn't see that coming.
and then we'll have you sing your favorite French song.
Okay. Oh my God! Now that I'm facing this, just this morning I was singing one. It is Jude Nam.
Okay,
He has this gospel song that I love so much.
you go ahead.
Olisa.
Okay.
How do you start that Olisa again? Oh my God. Maybe because I'm tense now, I can't remember.
No, just relax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Olisa. That's not how it starts.
Okay.
Okay, let me go for the French first.
Okay. Go for
Okay.
French first. Your favorite French song of all time?
Yeah, you have Céline Dion, you have Garou. Garou is a French artist that while growing up, I love him so much.
Okay.
Si tu crois que j'ai eu peur, c'est faux. C'est juste une phase, un repli. Après les dangers. I don't forgot the rest for a while. Yeah, he sang it with Céline Dion.
Oh, nice.
Yes, it's one that I love so much.
What does the song mean?
It's a love song. You know, French is all about love.
Yes.
It means if you think or if you thought a second that I got scared, you're wrong. It's just, I just press, you know, and then waiting for the should I say the bad praise
Okay, to go.
to go
Like the right time.
yes, to go. Then I'm coming back for you.
Got it. That's a lovely song. That's a lovely song.
I'm coming back for you.
All right. So now we're back to the Igbo song.
The Igbo song. Then
we have Mercy Chinwo, we have Judy K.
Mercy Chinwo, I think is more of English as well.
Yeah, but she does have some Igbo songs.
Okay. I love more of Jude.
Okay,
I love his songs.
Go ahead. Nothing's coming to mind?
This Olisa, I sang it this morning very well. Very well. Very well.
Okay, let's have you give your concluding remarks to people who are interested in learning French, and of course your social media handles where they can reach out to you if you're interested in learning French. What would you like to leave the people with tonight?
Okay. French is a beautiful language and it's an international language, and it has taken people to different level of life. If you want to learn the French language, I encourage you to really to give your best to it. It can take you everywhere because it's not just about Nigeria. We don't just learn, to remain here. And if you want to remain here, you have many organizations that welcome French language. So it's important that after learning English or while learning English or while knowing English as your language, while learning or knowing Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa as your language, it's good to add to it French language. So here I am. I'm your French translator. I can also interpret for you. So this is my Instagram handle, Sandrine Crescent, and then my Facebook handle is the same as my Instagram handle, Sandrine Crescent as well. My YouTube handle as well is Chima Obina Sandrine. That's my YouTube handle. Okay. So you can contact me. That, yes, you said is private. If you send your friend request, I will accept you, and then to not be private again, you'll be able to get in touch with me, and then here you go. I can be there for you for anything French, and then for the kids as well. For those that want their kid to learn, I'm there. I'm here for them.
Okay.
Yes, those in the university that also struggle, because you have some students that struggle over there to understand and to learn, be on the same page with others. I'm here for you. The ones in secondary school try to that took French as one of that subject in WAEC. I'm also here for you.
All right. Thank you so much. Do we remember the Igbo song now? All right. I give up. I give up. Maybe some other time we'll definitely get you to sing it. All right.
But funny enough, if I leave you, I remember it.
I know it happens. Thank you so much, Sandrine, for joining us. We appreciate you. And remember, she said her Instagram and Facebook handle, Sandrine Grayson. You can definitely reach out to her, and her YouTube page is Chima Obinna Sandrine. Okay, Chima Obinna Sandrine. Go check her out and learn a new language today. On that note, we say goodbye to us. Follow us on all our social media platforms at Afia TV Official, and keep it there with us from Monday through to Friday at 8 p.m. only on Afia TV, DSTV 254, GoTV 17, Free TV 748. I remain Jimmy Bulama Ashebu saying good night. See you tomorrow.